kind of excited for this one. Just recently, I went out and I picked up a copy of this box. Now, this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. It's Lost Relics Warhammer Quest game. It's supposed to be a simple kind of an introductory game to the Warhammer Quest universe. Now, of course, the first thing on the top, you get the manual, and instead of having the quick reference to rules on the back, they have like a miniature showcase for the painting, which I thought was kind of an odd thing to have instead of like a kind of the rules breakdown. But you've got your package that has all the tokens and the boards. Of course, you got your miniatures. Now, these are the Harrow Deep miniatures that came with one of the Warhammer Underworld sets. And actually, it's funny, I had kind of wanted to pick these guys up because I have a Stormcast Eternals army, but I didn't really like the other warband that was in that one. So I ended up not getting it. And I'm kind of glad that I waited because now I have this. So on top of that, you get your regular packs of cards, you get dice, and you get the insert. Now the insert, again, is one of the nice fancy ones that has all of the trays that you need for all the cards and tokens and stuff. Now this is just going to be kind of a quick run over of all the stuff here. You've got a list of all your components, and it shows the miniatures or whatnot, and then and it tells you what is what and what goes where. And a little bit about the boards later. I have some weird... the boards are a little strange. So it goes over the various parts and pieces of the hero cards and all the rules for that. Now you'll notice they look really similar to the Cursed City cards. And I know someone's going to ask, so at this point I can honestly say that without some conversion and some changes, it's not going to be compatible with Cursed City because it is a little bit different. Now, the game doesn't mince words here, or mince text as it is. It goes straight into how do you play, how you lay it out, how everything gets set up, gives you an example of that. As you'll see here, I'm kind of zooming in on that for you to get a better look. And it shows you where all your parts and pieces go, and it gives you a kind of a brief rundown of how it starts. Now, it goes into... how you play each round. It gives you a flow chart of how the round goes. It gives you a list of the actions you can take and the even ending an adventure at that point up at the top there. And then it moves on to explaining the different actions. So as you can see, this is a very quick and simple game. There's not a whole lot in there that is confusing, which is good because for an intro game like this, you definitely want it to be quick and simple. And so that is the end of the rule book. Actually, that short little blurb there, it gives you like the campaign rules or whatnot. Then of course you get the miniature assembly guide, and it shows you all of the assembly instructions. Of course, these are push to fit. And on to the adventures. Now, there's actually quite a few of these adventures in here. I'm actually quite surprised at how much they were able to squeeze into the book. Now, keeping in mind, this is a very short game, and you're going to be playing not for a whole, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to get it set up and get it running. So it kind of reminds me a little bit like Hero Quest, like a Hero Quest Lite type deal. And I think I might enjoy this. I'll be honest with you. I even have some of the miniatures for the enemies that I can use instead of the little tokens or whatnot, which, on a small board like this, it might cause some issues with crowding, but maybe we'll see how that works out. So you get a total of 12 adventures. And like I said, that's quite surprising for a game like this, for them to have 12 adventures, because I'm not even sure if Cursed City has 12 adventures. I've started painting the miniatures, but I haven't actually cracked it open and played yet. So onto the boards. This is the part that's a little strange to me. These are not punch outs. That's a solid board. It's just one big map with a bunch of rooms. I'm not really sure why they went that direction, especially since each of the rooms has its own like little tile set. You know, it looks kind of like a mishmash, like a hodgepodge of different Warhammer games on there. There is a bit of a nod to the original Warhammer Quest. There's a nod to Cursed City. There's a nod to even some of the digital games in there, because some of them look like digital games. The board here, I gotta say, the boards are a little messy, and I'm not quite sold on those. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. The tokens themselves are actually really nice. The tokens are very thick. They're printed well, and they seem like they're going to hold up to a bunch of different games. So here are your hero miniatures, or the hero cards for the miniatures. And the art, of course, is awesome. The painting is awesome. The hero cards are simpler than Cursed City. The enemy cards are simpler as well. But like I said, it's very easy to read. All of these are very easy to read. And it shouldn't pose a problem when you're going through and playing this. Now, some of these guys are exclusive to some of the Underworld's bands, I believe. Like the Magister there is part of the Underworld's bands. And moving on to the cards, you get your artifact cards that you pick up over the course of the game, and there's actually quite a few of these. I was quite surprised how many that they included. You get your the traps and events, your initiative cards, which have really nice art on them, and then you get your enemies. These are the different enemies that you can run into over the course of the game. And they're all familiar faces. You won't see anything new here. So don't expect anything that is out of the norm or something you haven't already seen. But it is presented well. I will say that. Everything has a nice presentation. So how I feel about this. Now, honestly, you know, considering the game itself and considering the Cursed City and all that, I think I'm going to enjoy it, to tell you the truth. I'm quite excited to try it out, especially since it's one of those quick play games that you can pick up, put on the table, get it out in a couple of minutes, and explain all the rules in fairly short order. So, you know, for me, that's something that I've been leaning towards more, because I don't get a whole lot of time to get a big complicated game out anymore. As much as I would like to get a game of Cursed City or Blackstone Fortress going, I don't really have the luxury of doing that right now. But anyway, so these are all the models assembled, and keep in mind these are the Underworld's models, so they are all push to fit, and they're all simple to put together, simple to snip off. A lot of them I didn't even need to snip very hard, which is good. Didn't stress the plastic any. That guy's a little bit fiddly, the arrow guy, the bow and arrow guy there. Forgot his name. Stormrider, that's him. And this is everything kind of put inside of the box and in the organizer, which again, I'm really fond of their organizers. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and if you feel like it, you know, if you feel generous, join me on Patreon and join me on Discord. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.